What up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be showing you guys this awesome new computer I just built. It's going to a 4-year customer of mine. Just every year or two or whatever, he comes to me and sells this computer, builds a new one. So this is kind of what I had whipped up and what he decided to pull the trigger on. He's going to be picking it up in the next hour or so. First time using this case. It's called a Panzer. Cougar Panzer Evo RGB. It's gigantic. It weighs a ton. I don't know how much this computer weighs, but it is hefty. I've been using it for the last 2 weeks or so, just because I kind of built it, to use for myself, and then I posted it up for sale, and once it sells, I'll build something else. Anyways, we'll jump into it here. We'll turn it on. So up here at the front, let's see. There's the I/O. We have the power reset. We have a USB Type C, USB 2, which is odd, headphone microphone, 2 USB 3 ports, and then we have a built-in fan controller here. So hit the power button. This computer is running 7 of the Cougar RGB fans. Right now they're all set, as you can see here, to like this red. So for the cooler, it's a Cougar 360 millimeter all-in-one water cooler. You can see the massive radiator up there. It does a really good job at keeping the processor cool. And then for the processor, we are running a Ryzen 9. It's a 3900X 12 core 24 thread. It's a beast of a processor. So this cooler does a really good job of keeping everything nice and cool. I also think it looks awesome. It's very, very thick. You can kind of see right there. Very tall. It has this, I don't think it's a fan. I just think it's a flow indicator, because I don't think it actually blows any air down. I think it just, like, lets you know how fast the fan is pumping. Right now I have it set to just 100%. So for the motherboard, we are running the aorus Pro Wi-Fi B450. The Wi-Fi in this motherboard is awesome. This is the antenna. It really is, for me, I have to game on Wi-Fi unless I had my setup in my living room. It is just as good as my wired connection. I'm sure it's not as good, but my speeds, running like speed tests and all that stuff, are about what my internet service provider's speed says I should get. So that's awesome. I'm running Corsair Dominator Platinum. This is 3600 megahertz, the newer RGB RAM. Really solid RAM. I think right now it's just set at like a default. It's like 3000 megahertz. I haven't messed with overclocking or cranking anything up. Let's see, for our drives in here, we have a Intel 1 terabyte NVMe. That is like my boot drive and games, programs, like all sorts of stuff. There's also, behind this, there's another M.2 slot with a shield on it that's just blank. And I'm not utilizing that. And then right there, you can kind of sort of see there is a SanDisk Ultra 3D NAND 1 terabyte SSD as well, just for more storage. This computer is very, very fast when it boots, just running the PCIe NVMe. And then for the graphics card, we are running a MSI GeForce RTX 2080 Super 8 gig. It's the most powerful graphics card I've ever used. This particular one does run kind of warm because it's a blower card, but I haven't seen any thermal throttling. It's getting plenty of airflow here from all these front intake fans. But just the nature of the beast, running, the blower card instead of like a dual fan, like a Founders Edition or anything like that. You see it from the bottom there, but it gets probably 82 degrees or so in the middle of gaming. We are running a Cougar, it's a CMX 700 watt semi-modular power supply. It does kind of have like some of the ugly cables. I did put a sleeve for the 24 pin. I had one on hand, and that one was particularly ugly. The CPU power up there you don't really see, and it's nice that these new cards, the power goes in through the side, so it kind of helps hide that. That's pretty much the gist of everything. That's most of the parts. You know, it's got the 12 core Ryzen, the RTX 2080 Super, the 16 gigs of the Dominator Platinum, and then 2 terabytes worth of solid state. It is an awesome build. It is gigantic. This is like a headset holder, which actually comes in handy. You know, usually I just put it on top of my computer, lay it on my desk, something like that. And the 2 weeks I've been running this PC, I really actually like just being able to set my headset on here when I'm done. But other than that, like I said, the case is all tempered glass, all side panels. Back here is glass, hides all the wires. There's a ton of wires back there, but it runs quiet, it runs cool. I mean, like I said, performance, I mean, when I was playing Fortnite at 1080p, I was getting maybe 160 to 200 frames. I mean, I don't really stare at it too much and benchmark it. I'm not really much of a benchmark person, I'm more of just a gamer. And I play on a 240 hertz 1080p G-Sync monitor, which I also have a review on my channel about, and this computer was crushing it. So like I said, this is to date the most powerful CPU and GPU wise PC I've ever built. I will tell you guys that my friend is going to be picking it up today for $1,500. I have a little bit less into building that. You know, I'd do it more for a hobby than, you know, a job. And like I said, this kid is a you know, this is, I don't know how many computers, you know, we have dealt and traded, but I've known him since 2016, and I know he was telling me he couldn't build anything like this, you know, with that, you know, $1,500. So trying to stay competitive given, you know, all the crap going on today. Like I said, it's a really awesome computer. He came over last night and we gamed on it and talked for like 2 hours, you know, just, it's, you know, a big purchase, you know, wanted to double check and look everything over and make sure it's exactly what he wanted. And I think he was very happy with it. We ran it on a Dell 2K monitor, and we were playing Fortnite, and it was getting like 120, 140 frames, you know, at 2K resolution. But it's just like it's a monitor I use for like my video editing and stuff. It's not like a gaming G-Sync and high refresh rate, all that sort of stuff. It's just very color accurate, high resolution, and but with the colors in Fortnite, it looked awesome. So like I said, we ran that for a while last night, and he was very pleased with it. So I'm just waiting for him to come pick it up. So anyways, guys, stay tuned. I'm getting a video up today, and then I'll have some more Fortnite gaming stuff coming up soon. So if you like it, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, drop down below. I'm trying to get better about my comment response. So if you have any questions or anything like that, I know with this cooler, I think the highest temperature I saw while gaming with the Ryzen 9 was like low 60s, which I think is pretty awesome as far as cooling wise. And then like I said, this was getting you know, low 80s, 82, which is pretty toasty, but same deal, I wasn't getting any, you know, throttling or anything like that. So thermal wise, it was great. I think aesthetically it looks awesome. The case is kind of, you know, it's your own opinion. I don't love it. I like the 500D a little bit better, but it definitely is a cool case. You know, when people come over and looked at the computer, they're like, holy crap, like what the hell is that thing? So it definitely draws a lot of attention, but I think you could probably put this same amount of hardware in a much smaller case, much smaller form factor, and, you know, have probably the same you know, thermal you know, results. I think this front panel actually has quite a bit of ventilation on the side. Both the sides are open. The bottom is completely open, and then there's a slit up here in the top you can kind of sort of see to allow airflow. And I tried just taking that off and running it with it off completely, and seeing if it affected my thermals, and it really didn't. So it did help when I took this top panel off. It dropped my CPU temps probably 5 to 7 degrees Celsius for sure. Same deal, there's big cutouts here on the side. You know, I can, there you go, there you can kind of see I can fit my finger all the way through. But these fans are right up against the glass almost. The reason being, I tried to mount them inside, but it's very tight up in this top right corner. So if I had the fans in on the inside, they were hitting. And it also didn't clear that VRM cooler on the motherboard. So I had to mount the fans up top. This case with cooling, especially radiator support, you can see the big gap between the fans. So you can mount the radiator, but it mounts directly to the frame, to the metal. So I just did not like how it mounted up front, which is why I mounted it in the top. Because basically, if you mounted it in the front, when you looked at the front, there would be the radiator, and then the fans would be on the inside. Because if you put because of the fan orientation and the spacing, it just doesn't fit. It's kind of a, I don't know, I think it's kind of a flawed design, honestly. Works good in the front, and then I have the whole front for, you know, airflow to cool everything else. But still, like, taking this off, like I said, you got about a 5 to 7 degrees Celsius CPU improvement, but taking this off in the front, I didn't see any GPU or CPU improvement. So like I said, drop a comment, tell me what you guys think. This will be leaving the channel this afternoon, so there won't be much more of this. I actually am running a new computer. It's an NZXT build that I found on Marketplace. That's really, you know, nice computer. So I'm still gaming. I have a gaming laptop, which I'm also going to do a review on. I'm always getting new computers, y'all. So I got a Dell G3 that I'm waiting for some upgrades to come in today, and then I'll make a video with that. So stay tuned. Like I said, drop me a comment, tell me what y'all think, and have a good week.